well known in the sports contribution world. Tell us about your continuing developments in the space, including the impact of 5G.
Oh, well, let's take it back a step first, though. Just so everyone's aware of who LiveU are and what we do. So 16 years ago, we invented something called IP video over bonded cellular, which is really at the heart of everything we do. And we have a technology which we call LRT, LiveU Reliable Transport. And that's really designed to help video flow over really hostile wire-free networks. And what we try and do is bond video signals together so you can reassemble them in high quality and low latency on the other side. So coming back to your question, now I've got a little bit of context and my voice has warmed up a bit. Let's talk about LU800, which is probably the mainstay, it's our flagship of our bonded cellular encoders. And we've just launched something called version 10, which is a free upgrade for our subscribers, and it does a number of interesting things. So the LU800 is a multi-camera unit, so one unit, 4 camera feeds. And version 10 enables you to send those camera feeds to different destinations, but from one unit. So if you're thinking about a REMI production process, then all of a sudden you've got a huge amount of capabilities. At the heart of any encoder is, of course, connectivity. And the LU800 has been enhanced. We keep pushing the platform. So now it's got not one, but 2 Wi-Fi modems. That's on top of 8 SIMs or 8 mobile modems with a dual SIM. So you can run 4G and 5G, so you can spread the load across multiple spectrums. And of course you've got 2 Ethernet ports as well. So you've got a plethora of options. And basically the LU800 enables you to have a really stable platform, pushing 70 megabits per second in a really very, very resilient manner. Now, many people are thinking, hang on, you mentioned 5G, and so 5G is amazing. I've got 5G on my phone. Why do I need a very, very complex and powerful tool to help me reliably transport video? Well, when you think about it, 5G is actually optimized for download speed. And of course what we want to do from the field is push things resiliently in an upload speed. So 5G is fantastic and we use it as well as bonding it with 4G, as I say, to spread the load. But it's really about optimizing upload speed so that you can get your stories from wherever they are into your control center or your OB van if you want to do that in a really very scalable and resilient way.
Okay. And a lot of focus goes on the big leagues and teams. How is LiveU working with these and lower tier sports clubs and organisations to enhance fan engagement and content monetisation?
I think the monetisation is probably the key word. I've not heard any customers say, hey Steve, our budgets have gone up, what can we buy? What they actually say is, look, we're under pressure, we need to engage more fans, but our fans are spending more time beyond the game, beyond the event, and they're doing more things digitally. How can we do that? So at NAB, we launched something called the LiveU ecosystem. And really that's a set of solutions which is designed to do 2 things. The first is to shorten workflows, and the second is to add efficiency. So what do I mean by shorten workflows? Well, if you can take out extraneous additional activities, like if you could remove a transcode activity, you reduce compute, you reduce latency, and you reduce cost. But if you can simplify workflows, you can shorten them. If you can make them shorter, you can push more content through. And then adding efficiency is really about how can you do more for less. It's an old adage, but that's really what it's all about. A great example of that, and one of the latest additions to the LiveU ecosystem, is something we call LiveU Studio. And that's a cloud-based live production system. And yes, you can switch, you can add audio, you can put simple graphics over the top, you can integrate it to people within the ecosystem, like Display, who provide other graphics. But what makes it unique is that it's the first cloud-based production system to be LRT native. So remember, when I said we could take out transcode hops, Studio enables you to go direct from your unit to your LU800 or 300 directly into the cloud. So ground to cloud, nothing in between, straight into your production solution. That means that crews, teams can use the assets they've already deployed to a match, and then they can do their primary feed, direct to their program, but then they can keep rolling and serve their digital channels without having to retool or reset. And Studio's got one other trick up its sleeve, of course. At the point that you're streaming, you can decide to distribute it to 30 channels simultaneously. So you can do LiveU, TikTok, Twitch, or whoever you happen to want to do at the simple press of a button.
Okay. And LiveU's recently announced a new on-site sports production solution. What makes this different to existing OB solutions?
So, OB, I love a good bit of OB, as most people do. You're in the heart of the action, you're closer to where it's happening, and you've got eyes on everything. But there's some admin pain about setting up an OB set. First of all, you have to talk to the venue's network manager, and you're going to say things that will make their hair set on fire. Hey, can I open a port? If you're a network manager for an IT firm, then you'll say no. A good day is where nothing changes, and then some Johnny rocking up and saying, I want to put a huge amount of video through your network, through an open port. It's not a good time. So you can spend a lot of time negotiating just on network. So remember I was talking about the ecosystem and our plan to shorten workflows? If we could take some of that pain away from setup, we could probably help people produce more content for less. So we also thought about, well, there's constraints. You turn up, let's imagine you've negotiated your network. Let's now think about where you want to place your cameras. And you think, I want to put a camera on the top of that mountain. Brilliant. Okay, so how far away is it, and will my cable run? How early do I have to get there? Oh, hang on, there's a road in the way. Okay, fine, we'll use RF. Let's go and talk to the venue manager about some RF frequencies that happen to be free. Well, good luck with that. So if we could remove that hassle and say, let's take the thinking we applied to REMI and apply it to on-site, what would we do? We'd say, well, we'd take an LU 2000 or 4000, they're our receivers, out of the natural environment from your server room, and we'd put it in the trunk. We'd then attach it to something we call an LU extend, which is really exactly like an LU 800, but without the video card. It's just a hypercharged modem box. And then we'd use something called LU Link, which sits in the cloud. And what LU Link is going to do is it's going to manage the upload and the download link from your field cameras using bonded cellular. So suddenly you can ignore all of the constraints that the network engineer is going to have, because you're not going to be using his network, and you're going to ignore all of the challenges you have with RF line of sight or cable runs, because you're going to be using bonded cellular. So we've taken the core concepts of remote workflows and REMI and applied it to the on-site production system, so you really do get, we hope, the best of both worlds.
That's brilliant, thank you, Steve.
Thanks for your time. Great talking to you, Joe.